For decades, community leaders in Prince George's County have held on to a promise to build something new, something meaningful, something that would change the future of this county and the lives of the people who live here. And now, after so much time and dedication, we are proud to introduce the University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center, a state-of-the-art hospital designed to deliver the best available care to people who call Prince George's County home. This achievement is so much more than just a building. It's a new day for healthcare across the county, and it's a symbol of our shared responsibility to make Prince George's County a healthier place. The all-new Capital Region Medical Center also reflects the enduring commitment of the University of Maryland medical system to this region. And while one goal has been achieved, the real work starts right here, right now, with building loyalty and trust and all that we offer here. We're opening new doors that will change up Prince George's County forever. And this is far from the end. This is just the beginning. The University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center.
Please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night that our flag was still there. Saint us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We will now have the invocation by Pastor John K. Jenkins Sr., Senior Pastor, First Baptist Church of Glenarden.
Let's pray. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you today for this glorious and wonderful day. Thank you for waking us up and giving us the opportunity to dedicate and consecrate this facility that will make a difference in impacting the lives of this community. We thank you for all of those that are involved with making this happen, from our political leaders and the doctors and organizations and companies and everyone involved. And we pray your blessings upon this day, upon this facility, that people be healed, that people be set free and helped because of the work that goes on in this facility. We do not count it a small thing, but a great thing that you have brought to this place. And we give you the thanks and the glory. We pray, Father, now that you continue to use it for your advancement of your kingdom. And we pray this in the name of he who died on the cross for our sins, in the name of him who was buried, and in the name of him who was raised from the dead. It is in his name we pray. Amen. Amen.
We will now have welcome remarks by the Honorable Judge Alexander Williams, Chair, University of Maryland Capital Region Health Board of Directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and what a joyful and wonderful occasion it is to be here. I can just hear the enthusiasm and feel it that's here. The video we just watched gives a glimpse into the history of this facility coming into existence. But more importantly, the video sets the stage for where we are in our journey to change healthcare in this county. As the video said, we're only at the beginning. It's hard to come behind Tanisha in that wonderful rendition that she just gave us with in the national anthem singing, but we'll just give some brief remarks. What a historical occasion to bring us together. I'm retired Judge Alexander Williams, and I serve as the chair of the University of Maryland Capital Region Health Board of Directors. It is a privilege to stand before you as the chair, and I am honored to extend the welcome and be your master of ceremony from time to time. I have seen so many familiar faces and friends of people who across the years have come together to assist in making this day a reality. And my initial reaction is to start calling names, but I better not do that. I've been in the political world before, and I know that you invariably will forget someone. I would just say that there are a lot of people here today and not here today who played a valuable role in seeing this hospital come into existence. I would say that the reason we are here today is the evidence of what a public and private partnership can unveil. This extraordinary outcome, the University of Maryland Capital Region Center and the state system. This is a critical time for Capital Region, and on behalf of the dedicated and very distinguished board of directors, I extend my gratitude to those who have taken this journey to get us to where we are today. There is much history associated with this organization. We have overcome hurdles, but every proud moment is accomplished by a story and a history. Today I pay homage to the past, to the conversations, to the work, the time, and the dedication of stakeholders, administrators, past and present, that brought us here together. And so we say thank you. But today we want to focus on our future. I have an overwhelming burst right now of pride that's all over me, and a number of the rest of you probably feel the same way. I look at this building and I admire its beauty. I'm proud of what it represents. But this is more than bricks and mortar. But it includes innovation, technology, and the people, providers, who are committed to giving safe, quality, and compassionate care. Without the people, part of this organization, and the commitment that they have, this is just a building. And I am pleased to say that the bar has been set, and the residents of Prince George's County and the surrounding area will be greatly appreciated, and will greatly appreciate what it represents. I know that there is a bright future ahead, and we can continue to forge forward. Our pride in this organization and for what this hospital will mean to this community starting June 12 will only get stronger. I want to acknowledge Nathaniel Richardson, the President and CEO of the University of Maryland Capital Region. I was on the search committee that selected Nate to lead this organization. And in the year that I've gotten to know him, he is clearly a leader and the person to usher this organization into a new day. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Mohan Santha, the President and CEO of the University of Maryland Medical System. Dr. Santha is a terrific and mighty force he cares about people, and he cares about seeing that his entire team, every affiliate associated with UMS, becomes an excellent facility and provider of health care. To those who will give remarks during the day's program, Governor Hogan, Senator Ben Cardin, Congressman Anthony Brown, County Exec Angela Alsobrooks, Senate President Bill Ferguson, Speaker Adrian Jones, and those speaking on behalf of the County Council, actually it'd be one, and that would be Derek Davis. Yeah, I thank all of you for taking the time to come and share with us today. And to those joining with us in person, as well as from your homes, thank you for celebrating with us, because the most important things we celebrate today is yet to come. Again, welcome, and thank you all for being here today.
We will now have Dr. Mohan Santha, President and CEO of the University of Maryland Medical System, give opening remarks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Many years ago, I was taught the notion of unity that is described in Psalm 133. Unity of purpose drives shared sacrifice and a collective commitment to achieving perhaps what was once thought to be unimaginable. So today, I am humbled to stand before you on behalf of 29,000 team members that make up the University of Maryland Medical System and welcome you to the future of healthcare in Prince George's County. So on behalf of our entire organization, I want to thank our federal, state, and local elected officials. I want to make sure that I welcome the University of Maryland Medical System Board of Directors and the Board of Directors from Capital Region Health. It is your commitment of your time, your talent, your treasure, and those who came before you that have led us to where we are today, and it's made this possible. Governor Hogan, President Ferguson, Speaker Jones, County Exec Alsobrooks, thank you. Thank you for your unabashed and unwavering commitment to see the future and ensure that that future is felt as a reality for all of the citizens of Prince George's County. For again, like you and those who came before you, it required tenacity, it required commitment, it required the willingness to lean into hard conversations to bring us where we are today. So as a physician, I will tell you that I admittedly biasly believe that ours is a noble profession in healthcare. The nobility of our work is defined by the inextricable social compact that we make as caregivers with our communities, with those who come seeking our care, with those who trust in us as an organization, and us as individuals, to work harder, to go faster, to think deeper, to commit to not just how we deliver care today, but what we think is possible for the future. And today, I believe you see a tangible representation of what we at the medical system see as the future of healthcare in Prince George's County. We describe this in healthcare as the unspoken promise. We describe that promise is shaped by a commitment to deliver the highest quality, compassionate health care. And here in Prince George's County, you will hear us talking about that as transforming health care in this community. We will transform healthcare in the same way that we have gotten to this point today. And that is through defined partnerships. Partnerships at the medical system sort of starts with our foundational partnership with the University of Maryland, Baltimore, the University of Maryland School of Medicine, and our colleagues. But as we shape it across the system, the truth is it is also shaped very importantly by our connections and our commitments in our communities, with our physician communities across the state of Maryland, with our community commitments in nonprofits that exist within our communities, because when we think of the future of healthcare, we don't simply think about what will occur within the walls of this organization. Importantly, we think about the holistic way we think about healthcare, which includes the health and well-being of our communities. So I can stand here today with confidence, and that confidence is shaped by a basic fact, and that fact is that I have seen the future. But the good news is I'm not alone in that. So have you. When you think about the unprecedented challenges of a once-in-a-multiple-generation pandemic that has hit the world, we all know that some parts of our nation have been hit harder than others. And what I know is that, and it is my fervent belief, that even our harshest critics would say that we at the medical system have leaned into partnerships to define how we are going to address the needs of our community here in Prince George's County. And when I think about how we've navigated the challenges, it is what gives me hope and gives me belief that today simply represents the future. Today represents the opportunity that's in front of all of us. So we say in healthcare that the magic happens when physical resources match human talent. And so today we are excited as caregivers because finally we believe we have a facility where the physical resources match the human talent and the human commitment for many. So I want to specifically speak for a minute to the caregivers and team members, physicians of Prince George's County. And specifically at Capital Region Health, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the trust, thank you for the faith, thank you for the perseverance, thank you for the perspiration that you have put in to get us to today. And what you have is our collective commitment, not just as the medical system, but all the partners that you see here represented, that today is just the beginning. And that your sweat equity will be well respected as we go forward. So finally, I'm going to leave you with this. I fervently believe that healthcare is a team sport. So on behalf of the University of Maryland Medical System, I want to make sure that we say that we welcome and embrace all who are committed to the health and well-being of the citizens of Prince George's County. But now, again, admittedly biasedly, I'm also here to tell you that from our perspective, there's only one home team. And that home team is the University of Maryland Capital Regional Health. So on behalf of our entire organization, thank you for coming today. Thank you for celebrating what is a dramatic step forward for our organization, most importantly, for the entire community of Prince George's County. What we physically do here today represents a collective commitment throughout the entire county. And on behalf of the medical system, again, I say thank you, and we look forward to many great days ahead for our community and our county. So now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our next speaker, the Honorable Larry Hogan, Governor of the great state of Maryland. Governor Hogan, thank you so much for being with us. And so I know many in this county know what I'm going to say, but there might be some who don't. So for them, I'm speaking directly to you. Because while it is true that today he lives in Annapolis, it is critical for everyone to understand that Governor Hogan is a Prince George's County native. And both he and his father, Larry Hogan Sr., a former member of Congress, a previous county executive, has always had his eye and a devotion to this county. I've had the opportunity to work with Governor Hogan closely over the last 16 months as we have tried to all lean in to navigate the pandemic associated with COVID-19. And what I can tell you is from a front row seat, I have seen how he has led. And on behalf of the medical system, and far more importantly, the citizens of the state of Maryland, citizens of Prince George's County, Governor Hogan, thank you for your support and collaboration, and I welcome you to the stage.
Wow, were you fired up? Mohan is a tough act to follow. I don't know how I got put behind him, but I'm excited. And good afternoon, everyone. It really is wonderful to be back home in Prince George's County. It's great to be here. Dr. Santha, congratulations to you, to Chip DePaula, to everyone at the University of Maryland Medical System, Judge Williams, Nat Richardson, and the entire Regional Health Facilities team. I want to thank President Ferguson and Speaker Jones, County Executive Brooks, the members of the County Council, and really everyone, probably everyone here, for their role in getting us to where we are today and for being a part of this very exciting achievement, not only for the Capital Region and for for Prince George's County, but really for the state of Maryland. It's a wonderful day, and I'm happy to be here with you all. Mohan touched on this past year. This past year has been one of the most difficult that many of us has ever been through. It was particularly hard for Prince George's County. And while our long, hard-fought battle against the worst pandemic in more than a century is finally nearing an end, it has served as a reminder of the critical importance of equitable access to high-quality health care services. Unfortunately, for decades, the citizens of Prince George's County have not had the level of high-quality patient care that they deserve. It's a problem. You mentioned my dad being a member of Congress and a county exec. My dad even worked hard on this problem 40 years ago when he was county executive of Prince George's County. I can tell you, as a lifelong Marylander who grew up here in Prince George's County, spent most of my life living and working here, addressing this need has been a personal and important mission for me as well. That's why I'm proud to have been a supporter of this project from day one. The new Capital Regional Medical Center is the result of a historic public-private partnership. With our administration, we were proud to commit $200 million toward finally making this a reality, working together with and with the region and with Prince George's County. And I know firsthand that this state-of-the-art facility will transform health care for Prince George's County and for the entire region. I have no doubt about that. A few years ago, when I waged my own battle with an aggressive cancer, I became sort of a long-term customer of in Baltimore, and I can tell you that the quality doctors and nurses and medical team at quite literally saved my life. And last year at the beginning of the pandemic, we set a goal of adding 6,000 surge capacity beds for our hospitals across the state, which we needed. And and the Capital Region really stepped up and agreed to work together with us. Capital Region teamed up with us to do something that nobody thought was ever going to happen, and that was we reopened the closed Laurel Hospital here in Prince George's County. It was one of our very first field hospitals. And as a result, the Capital Region Health and its clinicians were able to provide world-class health care for thousands of COVID patients. And in recent months, they've also administered nearly 10,000 vaccinations there. That's in addition to the hundreds of thousands of vaccinations that has helped us administer across the state, pastor, right at the First Baptist Church in Glen Arden, to the M&T Bank Stadium, to the Baltimore Convention Center. It's been a tremendous partnership. This partnership with UMS in Prince George's County, more than 1 million people in Prince George's County and in southern Maryland are finally going to get the health care that they deserve, which they so desperately need and that they have for so long, where they're going to get access to some of the best doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals in the world, right here in Prince George's County. Throughout the last year, while our healthcare heroes were on the front lines and working around the clock to save lives, projects like this one continue to be constructed and move forward all across the state. And today's ribbon cutting is just one more shining example of how we aren't just recovering from this pandemic, we're coming back stronger and better than ever before. So once again, I just want to say congratulations and thank you to every single person that has been involved in this project. It's just truly one more way that together we are changing Maryland for the better. So thank you very much, and I'm going to ask Dr. Suntha and Nat Richardson to come forward so I can give them a governor's citation to honor this special occasion today. Thank you, guys.
The Honorable Ben Cardin, Senator, State of Maryland.
Good afternoon. I'm Senator Ben Cardin. This is truly a historic day for not just the county, but for the entire state of Maryland. I wish I could be with you in Prince George's County today. Congratulations on the opening of the beautiful University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center in Largo. This state-of-the-art 11-floor, 205-room hospital represents the culmination of steadfast effort that has spanned so many years. Thanks go to many of those who are gathered today and regretfully some who are no longer with us. No one fought harder for this moment than our good friend Mike Miller, who lives in the memory of this facility. We continue to thank him for his service and vision, and we will long owe him a debt for the seeds he planted for the future of Maryland. Today, we especially highlight the determination and vision possessed by Prince George's and state elected officials to make this happen. They held fast to the words of Winston Churchill, who said, "Healthy citizens are the greatest asset of any country can have." This new medical center will provide a range of essential services, including emergency care, behavioral health, cardiac care, neurosciences, orthopedics, and women's health. My greatest thanks and congratulations go out to the doctors, nurses, administrators, and all the personnel that make up the University of Maryland medical system. You are the heart of this hospital. Congratulations also to UMS President and CEO, Mr. Mohan Suntha, and the Capital Region President and CEO, Nathaniel Richardson. Thank you and your team for your service to our communities here in Prince George's County and across the state. During this time, with historic obstacles in front of us, this facility did not fall behind schedule. Actually, it was completed early. This COVID-19 pandemic has reminded us of how precious our health is and what is most important in our lives, what gives it meaning and purpose. This proud new home for Prince George's County Health gives new life and hope to this region for generations to come. It's exciting to be part of this, and I cannot wait to see it in person. Again, congratulations to all on this accomplishment.
We welcome the Honorable Anthony Brown, U.S. Representative, Maryland's 4th Congressional District, U.S. House of Representatives.
I can't tell you how emotional today is. So I'm going to stay on script so I don't get a little teary-eyed up here. Let me thank Dr. Suntha for your leadership and I want to thank Governor Hogan for your leadership, for being here today, and also for speaking before me and not so I'd have to speak right after Dr. Sumta. I want to thank Nathaniel Richardson. Thank you for your leadership here at the Capital Region Health Center. I want to thank President Ferguson and Speaker Jones, and just take a quick time out to thank your predecessors, Mike Miller and Mike Bush, without whom this certainly would not be possible today. I want to thank my good friend, County Executive Alsabrook, for your leadership through this pandemic. Got a bright future. You're doing wonderful. And take the opportunity also to thank your predecessor, Richardson Baker, without whom this would not be possible. Thank you, Richardson. I want to thank Councilman Davis, Prince George's biggest cheerleader. Thank all the members of the County Council, members of the Maryland General Assembly who are here, my good friend Senator Cardin, our senior senator, and a big thank you to the staff and the first responders and all those who will call this your work home. We're expecting big things of you. You're doing great work in outdated facilities, so just imagine what you're going to be able to do now. This is a great day for Prince George's County. This is a big win. And no matter what your profession is, but I think certainly I can speak on behalf of elected public officials, you don't get many big wins for your constituents like today. You get wins, you experience some losses. This is a big one for Prince George's County. And why I commented that I might get emotional, because 30 years ago I moved to Prince George's County, and when a few years later we were expecting our first child, said to the OBGYN, because we were so proud of having moved to Prince George's County and choosing to live here, we said we want every single one of our children to be born in Prince George's County. And this doctor said to us, if I'm going to deliver that baby, it's not going to be in Prince George's County. Now, Pastor Jenkins, I know that my wife and I will never have to make that decision again as to where to have our baby delivered. But Judge Williams, today is the beginning of the end, so that no family in Prince George's County will ever be denied the quality care that they choose to have right here in Prince George's County. This is a culmination of 14 years of hard work. This is a vibrant community. It's resilient. It's full of untapped potential, yet we see residents still leaving our county every day to find care. Leaving Prince George's County, go to the district, or to go to Montgomery County, or some will go to Northern Virginia. This isn't due to a lack of pride in our community and what it has to offer, but it's a clear signal that for Prince George's County to grow and remain a great place to live, work, and raise a family, we have to invest more in quality of life facilities like this hospital. And that's what our residents deserve. We can always do more to improve the quality of life for the many families who call Prince George's County home. That means addressing unacceptable health disparities, promoting economic development, and investing in our county. More than 10 years ago, under Governor Martin O'Malley's leadership, working with Prince George's County leaders and the General Assembly, we said enough is enough. Remember, every year, the hospital system was coming to the state of Maryland, asking for $14.1 million this year, $15 million next year, to pay for the uncompensated care for physicians in this system, to patch up the outdated facility, to keep the system running. And 14 years ago, Martin O'Malley said, enough is enough. It is no longer acceptable for this system to simply survive. It has to thrive. And that was the investment that each and every one of us made. I remember when we went to the University of Maryland medical system, They, like a number of other systems, remember the days of the hospital authority? They, like many, said, I don't know, on the surface, doesn't look too promising. And perhaps it wasn't. But I think today proves otherwise. That would not have happened if Martin O'Malley did not say to the University of Maryland medical system, we built you for a purpose to develop, redevelop, and expand healthcare and health facilities for all Marylanders. Did a great job on the Eastern Shore and in Northeast Maryland. Now it's time for Prince George's County. And sure enough, and I'm so grateful that the system, and I thank the board, many of whom I saw in that room 14, 15 years ago. I thank that board for looking under the hood, kicking the tires. Then you decide to take it out for a spin, and you realize it was a winning proposition for everybody. The residents of Prince George's County, from Maryland, the National Capital Region. What a great location. Metro accessible, huh? Metro accessible. So we didn't take no for an answer. We kept driving, and today is more than a ribbon cutting. I hope that it's the beginning of a new chapter as we fight for equity throughout Maryland. After a global pandemic, an economic crisis, and a long overdue reckoning on race in our country, we know that the status quo is unacceptable. Prince George's saw the highest rates of infection, death, and hospitalizations during the COVID-19 virus during this pandemic. Disparities in public health and patient outcomes didn't happen accidentally. They are the direct result of structural biases that have existed in our healthcare system for decades, affecting COVID-19 outcomes, things like maternal health, chronic conditions, and so much more. Systemic barriers to healthcare, particularly in communities of color, are deadly. And this pandemic highlighted this fact with stark, undeniable clarity. Prince George's County, though, is not defined by the challenges that we face, but by the people working together to overcome them. So just look around this room for a minute and give yourselves a round of applause. Each and every one of you. By the doctors and the nurses in the University of Maryland medical system and around our state who bring compassion to those for whom they care, who put in long hours to provide care and comfort to those struggling with illness and families worried about their loved ones. By our neighbors who, even in difficult times, always show up for each other. And by the local leaders, advocates, and champions of our communities who never stop fighting for the unmet needs of Prince Georgians, who know that true equity is achieved through persistence and tireless efforts. Today is a proud day for Prince George's County, a commencement of sorts in our continued efforts to ensure equity and quality of life for those whom we serve. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.
The Honorable Angela Also Brooks, County Executive, Prince George's County.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I have to tell you, it is so wonderful to see your faces this afternoon. This is a wonderful afternoon in Prince George's County. And Congressman Brown said a moment ago that he felt emotional. And I have to tell you, I sat here for a moment and the emotion swept over me as well for a different reason. We took these masks off today in this building. And I have to tell you, after what we have been through over this last year, what a moment this is to be able to take these masks off of our faces. And we got here because some people made some sacrifices. I'm looking in the back at Dr. Carter and Dr. Askew. I want to thank them for the amazing job that they did during this pandemic. Also, but the men and women who are up top here, the people who work in the University of Maryland medical system, I have to tell you what a job they did to help get our family members through this pandemic. And that's why today is important to all of us. When we think about this building, it's so much more than just a building. What this building represents for us is caring for our families. Again, when I think back on this pandemic and I think about Nat Richardson and Dr. Suntha, Dr. Wright, the ones we called when we couldn't come into this building during the pandemic because it was too dangerous to do so, we had to rely on the men and women in these buildings to stand bedside by our family members who were suffering, some who died, and we couldn't be there with them, but they could. And so today really is a beautiful day, and I'm so grateful for it. I have to say to Governor Hogan again, welcome home. I always love to say that to him, welcome home. And to Dr. Suntha, the one who stood up here and started with a scripture and came with all the passion. To me, he walks like and sounds like a Prince Georgian. I don't know, kind of sounds like that to me. I'd say sounds too much like a Prince Georgian to me. So we'll keep the porch light on for you, because I know they said you live someplace else, but if you come up here and you quote scripture and speak with the kind of passion you did, you absolutely belong in Prince George's County. I have to also say to our Congressman Brown, we thank you so much, sir, for your leadership, a fierce advocate for us who helped get us through this pandemic. We thank you so much for your leadership. Appreciate you and our entire delegation. And also, we're proud to welcome today the Speaker, Adrian Jones. We thank you for being here, and Senate President Bill Ferguson, who worked for decades. She was reminding me how much work. She said, you don't know how long I have been coming here to make sure that this hospital happened. And so today is not here by accident. Our county council members want to thank you all so much for your leadership, and our entire delegation, also House and Senate delegation, who stood in the gap to make sure that they were advocating to make sure that this hospital happened. Again, it didn't happen by accident. It took a lot of hard work and a lot of people to make sure that today was possible. And so we are so grateful for all of your efforts. And this pandemic helped us to see more clearly why it was necessary. It helped us to really uncover the structural inequities. You've heard about it a moment ago. Prince George's County, when we stepped up to bat to fight this pandemic, had to do so with one hand tied behind our back. I've been saying this is true. Everyone else fought the pandemic, but Prince George's County, we were disproportionately impacted by this pandemic, and we had to fight the pandemic with one hand tied behind our backs because of the structural inequities, the lack of access to health care for decades, the lack of access to healthy foods that made us sicker than anyone when the pandemic struck. And so today really is a response to what we've seen. I've seen my predecessor also have to thank Rashern Baker. Thank you so much, sir, for your leadership in getting us here. But as we struggled through this pandemic, and many didn't understand, again, the struggles that we saw day in and day out, we knew something that our vice president said that I thought was so beautiful during the pandemic. She said, the beauty of it all is that when this is done, we will be able to say more than just how we felt. We're going to be able to say what we did. Today represents what we've done about what we saw. And so we're so happy again for today that we will never, ever have to face a circumstance like we did before, with the lack of access, where we were bringing out tractor trailers and putting them in parking lots to care for our loved ones. And we didn't know whether we'd run out of ventilators. We didn't know what the circumstance was. But as Dr. Suntha said, this is a new day, and this represents the future for so many of us. And we are so glad to see it come. The county invested $208 million overall in capital funds to keep this project on track. We want to thank the investments that have been made also by the state and by the system. We want to thank as well Clark Construction Group. I know they're here today, and we're so proud also of the work that they have done for this beautiful edifice. Estime Enterprises, Columbia Enterprises for their commitment to this project. And you heard it. Only in Prince George's County in a pandemic, not only did it finish on time, it finished early. So we're glad also for the tremendous work that went into making sure that this could happen. But because of all of our collective efforts, we now have a 600,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility that is dedicated to giving our residents high quality medical care. This facility includes a heart and vascular institute, a stroke center. For those who haven't been able to view it, a floor dedicated for women and infant health. We're glad that inpatient and outpatient behavioral health services, we can stop, full stop right there, that will be available and so much more. And so this project will continue to provide the growth opportunities for our surrounding local economy, including attracting healthy food options for our residents. This is a special day for our county. And as we close the doors, and I said to Dr. Santha that I wanted to follow the ambulances as they come over here this weekend on the 75-year-old Prince George's Hospital Center. And you all know this is a real thing. I don't know about you, I was excited to hear it, that they're going to start, I think they told me somewhere, would say about midnight, that they're going to start transporting the patients over here this weekend in a caravan of ambulances. And it's such a big deal. I said, I'm coming out to follow it. I want to be able to see this happen. How many times in our lifetime will we be able to see this magnificent transition that is going to happen to this new, to this facility that symbolizes new and improved access to health care. And so as we move toward the future, we pledge to not only continue to push to make sure that health care is available, but we want it to be available to every member of our community in every corner of our community. No person will be left behind. And so we commit ourselves to not only sufficient health care options, but excellent health care options for all who seek treatment. And so we'll be intentional about improving the overall health care of Prince Georgians as we continue to move forward, because we have long said that the buildings, again, we're going to build, you're going to see magnificent, explosive growth over the next few years in Prince George's County. And I've long said that it is not economic growth and development that is most important, but human development and growth that we're after. And this gives us a chance to do that. So thank you all so much again. Everyone who had anything to do with today, we are so excited about it. The best truly is yet to come. We're excited for it. And again, Dr. Santha, with your scripture and all of the passion you demonstrated, we're going to keep the porch lights on because you, sir, belong in Prince George's County. Thank you all so much. God bless you. And what a wonderful day it is.
The Honorable William Ferguson, Maryland State Senator.
Good afternoon. And here I am thinking, as I look down at my notes, how did I come to Prince George's County and not get prepped with scripture to start the presentation? Let's try again. Good afternoon. It is truly an honor and pleasure to be here with you today, to be celebrating this very, very special moment. We've heard a lot. There's innumerable individuals to thank. But I have to go back to when I was first elected to the Maryland State Senate in 2011. I'll never forget. It was one of my early years. It was the first elected office I had ever been in. And I went into a Democratic Senate caucus meeting. And you know, we're talking about the session priorities, and here I am, this wide-eyed, bright, bushy-tailed, ready to go. And our former Senate President at the time, President Emeritus Mike Miller, said, "We've got one thing to do. We've got to get this hospital in Prince George's County done." And I'll never forget that I thought to myself, what have I gotten myself into? And what I came to learn over the next decade was the complex story that Congressman Brown just laid out, that County Executive Brooks, that the governor mentioned as he was a child growing up, that in this amazing state, in this great state, somehow Prince George's County, this diverse, rich county, did not have access to the unbelievable world-class health care that we know and expect. That changes today. That changes today. I do want to thank a number of individuals. The system, of course. Throughout this project over the last few years, the chair of the Prince George's County delegation, Senator Joanne Benson, and Vice Chair Obie Patterson, who I have not seen today, but I know we're trying to make it. They have been fierce advocates, along with Senator Doug Peters, who is the current chair of the Capital Subcommittee, who's helped to facilitate funding. And then, of course, I would be unbelievably remiss if I did not thank our incredible, and your incredible, thank you for sending the President Pro Tem of the Maryland Senate, Melanie Griffith, who has just been an unbelievable champion for health equity and health access, and this is a representation of that vision, along with Senator Malcolm Augustine, who I see there in the back, and I know I saw our chair of our budget committee, Guy Gazzoni, here somewhere along the way, who has just been fighting for healthcare options throughout his time and has been a part of this unbelievably amazing project. I'm gonna sort of go slightly off script for just a moment. I'll be very, very brief. This is a really special day. And I think County Executive also Brooks mentioned that moment. This is the first moment where I feel like we're coming back. Like something new is happening. Like the energy is real. And I'm just so honored and pleased to be here tackling health equity in this place in Prince George's County, in the Capital Region, in Southern Maryland, where we have a true new approach to what equity will look like. So let me end by just sort of thinking, why are we all actually here? Why are we here? We're here because maybe in 6 months, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 5 years, there's going to be a family in Seat Pleasant that wakes up in the middle of the night and their child is crying. And they think maybe it's just something small. And then that mother gets that intuition. This is something real. There's something serious here. Where do I go? There's going to be a grandmother, maybe in Hyattsville, that has that similar feeling about her husband. And she picks up the phone and calls her son and says, there's something wrong with Dad. I just don't know. He's got this pain in his chest. I'm just not sure. What do we do? There's going to probably be a terrible accident at some point. That but for this facility, a young teenager who is driving may not make it. But because of this place, because of the workers of the incredible healthcare, truly miracle makers, this place will save lives. It will save lives in Prince George's County. It will save lives in the Capital Region. It will save lives in this incredible state. And we are here today celebrating the idea that in this state where we believe in the power of equity and excellence, we dream it, we fight for it, and most importantly, we get it done. Thank you all. Congratulations.
The Honorable Adrian Jones, House of Delegates Speaker, Maryland.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I begin my remarks, can all the members of the House of Delegates stand? I'm not going to call your names, but stand and be recognized. We have great members of our House of Delegates. Senators are good too. They're good too. They're good too. Good afternoon, and I'm pleased to be here to celebrate the opening of the Capital Regional Medical Center. This project has seemed like a lifetime in the making. And I say that from firsthand knowledge after the many site visits, meetings, hearings that I participated in over the years in my prior role as Capital Budget Subcommittee Chair on Appropriations, along with the Vice Chair, who is now the President Pro Tem of the Senate. Now, I also want to clarify something else that the Congressman said. He gave a lot of accolades to the governor, which is rightfully so, but I seem to see it a little differently. Initially, the project was actually driven by the then Lieutenant Governor, Anthony Brown, and now Congressman, along with County Executive at the time, Richardson Baker. Where is Richardson? I heard his name called. Oh, there you are. They made replacing the 75-year-old Prince George's Hospital Center a statewide priority. That's how I remember it. The hospital is a critical anchor for Prince George's County and all of Southern Maryland, but this project is also about equity. When we started this rebuild, this project didn't look great on the balance sheet. Potential suitors weren't knocking down doors to get involved in this effort. It was the University of Maryland that stepped in to take on this challenge without hesitation. They knew that while Maryland has the #1 healthcare delivery system in the country, our second largest county did not have a quality hospital. Prince George's is a growing county with growing healthcare needs. Sending Prince Georgians out of state to get quality healthcare services has been a disservice to the many residents that call this region home. No Marylander should be forced to go to Washington, D.C. because they don't trust the healthcare services at their local hospital. We have been using the term equity a lot in our state and across the country for the past year. But true equity is equal access to the same quality of service. This project is rooted in equity. The state and county governments have invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the construction of this facility because quality health care is a right, not a privilege. This year, the state added an additional $5 million per year to recruit specialty doctors to this facility because access to quality health care shouldn't be determined by your zip code, your county, or your region. To that end, we made sure that this Level 2 trauma center will provide 21st century neonatal services, including intensive care, labor and delivery services, behavioral health services, and stroke and cardiovascular delivery. I have every confidence in Dr. Mohan Suntha and the chair of the board, Chip DePaula, to ensure that this facility is a success from the University of Maryland Medical System's perspective. I expect Dr. Nathaniel Richardson to meet the challenge that this hospital will serve every person that walked through its doors with the same rigor and patience and expertise that they deserve. There are so many who deserve our praise and thanks for all the work to get us here today. But our mission of creating equity didn't start with the opening of this facility. I want to acknowledge the Clark's work to exceed their state and local MBE participation goals with nearly $200 million in subcontracts. They completed this state-of-the-art building ahead of schedule, and I might also add, and under budget. Two things I love to hear. Didn't we, Melanie? That's what we hear. You're going to be on time and under budget? Yes. They completed this state-of-the-art building ahead of schedule in a manner in which we can all be proud. Today is a great day for the state of Maryland. I'm confident this new anchor institution will serve as a catalyst for Prince George's businesses, families, and communities. Congratulations to everyone who helped make this vision a reality. Thank you, everyone.
The Honorable Derek L. Davis, District and County Council, Prince George's County.
Ooh-wee. I tell you, they tried to make it your lucky day by giving me prepared remarks. Silly them. You know, there's a lot to be said, and it's very difficult to be in a position with the expectation to bring something new when you're led off with Mohan, who quotes Psalms. I mean, you know what I mean? And then you have the governor come up, and he brings the heat about P3 partnerships and the $200 million that we matched in Prince George's County. Right, that's right. And then this was the one that took the cake. Everyone's looking around for our elder senator to walk down an aisle, and he drops in virtually on the screen. I didn't think it, right? My congressman, thank you for already articulating that this is a big win. Big, huge win. And in his remarks, he probably said the piece that kind of leads me into where I wanted to begin my remarks. He talked about the metro station. He talked about this hospital being in the perfect location. Do you know where you are?
D6.
Where you at, Mr. Mayor, District 6?
D6.
Congressional 4. Somebody just got it. The heart of Prince George's County. That's where we are, geographically centered. Right down the street, you got Central Avenue. If you go down Route 202 into what is the county seat, now you see us moving all of our operations right here to Largo. You are center mass. We are serving the people from the heart of Prince George's County. Man, who would have thunk it? Location is what it's all about. So, you have to think about it from the perspective of the Proverbs. 29 and 18. Without vision, if it's not for the vision of all of the people in this room today, working hard, coming together as a team, Prince George's County suffers endlessly. You've already heard the stories. We had suffered for many years before Senate President Mike Miller, before the Honorable Paris Glendenning, Martin O'Malley. Matter of fact, I could go back further than that, because I recall in 1994 when we got now Congressman Brown and the team down into Annapolis with Senator Curry, whose soul we must also put to rest and say thank him. He was the one who said to me first, we have to do something about this hospital system. That was in 1994. 1994. I want you guys to think about that. We are now standing in the state-of-the-art, the classiest facility that is on the East Coast, run by the very best entity in the country for medical services. So everybody give a round of applause. And as I get to my remarks, I'll be remiss. Y'all didn't think that was it, did you? I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't ask my colleagues, past and current, on the county council to stand so they could be recognized. I saw Ms. Tolles, and I see Camille Exum. And this is past. Oh, there's Andrea. And it is a reason, Mr. Eastep. Not many people know that the county council's role beyond land use and beyond acting as the county council has the role of the Board of Health. And so we are the policy-making body from the perspective of health, and we are involved in the decision-making. As a matter of fact, as we transitioned from one hospital system to the next hospital system, we had a strident role to ensure that the memorandum of understanding between Prince George's County and the hospital system was stricken. And that was the vehicle that moved us from a failing system to the future that we have today. So, thank you, Madam County Executive. Thank you, Pastor Jenkins, for that invocation. And thank you all guests who came before me. We are blessed to be here with great leadership and partnership. I'm beyond excited, so calm down, because you know another thing just crossed my mind. We're sitting on ground that many Prince Georgians walked across the stage to receive their high school diploma from. When you think about it, right? This is the place where we graduated when the Capitol Center was here. The Capitol Center preceded the Capitol Center Boulevard, and this is special to us, real special to us. And for all of you Funketeers who might have remembered, back in 1974, there was another mothership that landed right here. Some of you guys remember, huh? All right. So I'm beyond excited to commemorate the opening of the long-awaited University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center, and especially welcome you all to where, Mr. Stone? District 6, the heart of Prince George's County. And Legislative District 24. It's my great honor to represent the County Council at the podium for this momentous occasion. Thank you, Council Chair. Give my Council Chair, Calvin Hawkins, a round of applause for allowing me to bring remarks. Our council colleagues are here as well and recognize the collective hard work, dedication that made help change up, not just change. Which way we changing? Up. We changing up healthcare in Prince George's County. I'm personally inspired by the history of this community, this transformative new hospital, and the commitment of the many, many people who work to make this vision our reality. It's with great respect that I acknowledge the strong support, and this has already been said, of the late Senate President Mike Miller, and also the Speaker of the House, Mike Bush, and I also mentioned my Senator, Ulysses Curry, for all of the work they did with regard to this regional medical center. I also recall the substantial contributions and partnership, and I don't think my good friend who worked diligently with me in the County Council for many years of his administration got a chance to stand up, but I see him in the back. Let me ask you to stand, Mr. Baker, so you can receive a round of applause as well. And I don't see Neil Moore, who was also the chief operating officer for the former Dimensions hospital system. It was a transition that we all had to make, and I did see my very good friend, and I have to give him a round of applause and a shout. Where are you, Dr. Joe Wright? Dr. Wright, stand up, Dr. Wright. There he is. You guys may not know, but Dr. Wright is the force of nature behind the Board of Health. When the Prince George's County Council began operating and sincerely as the Board of Health, Dr. Wright was our consultant. It was he who really impressed upon the County Council that we had health in all policies. It was he that impressed upon us that it wasn't just about building a mothership or a flagship, but it's about a network of care. And it is Dr. Wright who I give all of the credit for keeping all of us elected officials on the County Council in line. So give him another round of applause, because I love Dr. Wright. The council appreciates the productive partnership we have with UMCRH President Nathaniel. Right, Nathaniel, did you make the right decision to move in District 6? I did. That's right. You see, he got it down already. And also including the Prince Georgians choosing to have, somebody mentioned this earlier, having their babies right here. Bring them back. Take a quick look around at the podium guests and audience gathered here, federal, state, local officials, healthcare representatives, and members of our local community. Together, we made it happen, and as we look to the future with enhanced access to quality healthcare delivery and better health outcomes for our residents, we will also celebrate the new opportunities, as someone had said earlier, for collaboration through teamwork. It's all about public-private partnerships. 3 years ago, we broke ground for this hospital. The ground was cleared, and my favorite thing showed up, cranes. Cranes mean jobs. Jobs mean economic development. Jobs mean opportunities to put cash in the coffers so that we can spend it on our residents. So this is the cycle that is beginning the next phase of our reality here. This is the cycle. But then guess what happened? COVID. Man, that monster came in and it's began to just decimate it. It decimated families and it threatened everything around it. It threatened our economic viability. But you know what we did as Prince Georgians? Rolled up our sleeves. We started food banks. We helped our citizens. We worked together. And as it's already been said, what did UMS do? They kept on stroking. On time, under budget. That's what it's all about. So, instead of the need for this facility, it was amplified. And the Sandman's coming. They knew what they were getting. So, access to quality health care, health promotion, and disease prevention are priority concerns of the County Council in its role as the Board of Health. This new state-of-the-art hospital provides our community with what we need in these times the most: effective, affordable, accessible, quality health care. This is an anchor. This medical institution will be an anchor to the economic vitality of our community. The post-pandemic possibilities for healthy residents and thriving economy, boosted by transit-oriented development and jobs, is an exciting reality for us, the state and the region. I already said it, 3,000 employees. Anchored by the new hospital, the Largo Town Center Metro area will play a leading role in the redevelopment plan and placemaking at Largo Town Center, one of the first areas designated by Plan 2035, our county general plan, to be an emerging downtown Prince George's County. I like to say that, downtown Prince George's County. District 8, eat your heart out. Who knows what's happening in District 8? They got National Harbor, but we're about to come for you. We're coming for you. This hospital is where healthcare access, business creation, job creation, and mixed-use center developments intersect and create important models of economic growth and opportunity. I once heard it said, whatever good things we build end up building us in the process. And I think our county executive talks about that all the time, not economic development, but human development. That is essentially what we have right here today. Together, we have built a good thing. And now it will build us, starting right here in the beating heart of Prince George's County. Are you guys ready for what's coming next? You want more? We have more work to do. We do. We have more work to do. And if you look across the parking lot, you see a great opportunity. And so together, we'll need our federal officials, we'll need our state officials, we'll need our local officials working diligently so that we continue to build this city. Downtown Largo, thank you. See what that bad?
Please welcome back to the podium, Dr. Mohan Santha, President and CEO of the University of Maryland Medical System.
I'm not quite sure how to follow that, but I wanted to take just a brief minute to introduce our next and final speaker. And that is to introduce the man who has been charged with driving the future of Capital Region Health. And I think back to now, a year and a half ago, as I took on the role as President and CEO of the medical system, sitting with my board chair and good friend Chip DePaula, and Chip and I were talking about the vision for building our team. And we knew, and I knew, that the very first and most critical recruitment that we had in front of us was to identify the next leader of Capital Region. And I remember Chip, as only Chip can do, leaning into me and smiling and giving me a wink and said, you know, Mohan, as you build this team, all recruitments matter, but the first one matters most. And he said, don't get this wrong. And so Judge Williams and I put together a search committee. We did a national search, and it was very clear that Nat Richardson represented a transformational leader. I say that with confidence because Nat's got nearly 35 years of healthcare experience. He has run hospitals. He has helped integrate health systems. He has built hospitals. And on the side, Nat is himself a carpenter. So again, the idea of following a carpenter in my faith tells me good things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you to Nat Richardson.
Only in Dr. Santha's words, right? Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. But $200 million, I think I can get more than that, right? Just act like you won the lotto for $200 million. Let me try this again. Good afternoon, everyone. Great, thank you. And I am just honored to be here. I'm honored to serve in Prince George's County. I've done a lot of research this last year. It does not feel like a year. I've told Dr. Santha these have been dog years the last year, but we've been doing a lot of work. A lot of work to make you proud. A lot of work to make this state proud. I want to start by thanking the governor. Governor, I don't want to just thank you for your work in Prince George's County. I want to thank you for your work on behalf of the state of Maryland. You've done a great job, and I want to thank you for that. County Executive Angela Alsop-Brooks, I want you to know that your passion for Prince George's County is beyond anything that any of us can achieve. She's a passionate leader, and she's a leader that has really taken this county to levels that we've seen so far, and I have no doubt we're going places that we've never been before. So thank you for your leadership. I want to make sure that I thank Senator Ben Cardin, Congressman Anthony Brown. I've had the pleasure of working with your wife on quality committees, and I know that if she's a reflection of you and the passion that she brought to our quality committee, our organization is going great places. So thank you both. I want to make sure I thank Senator and President Bill Ferguson for your work and your passion on behalf of our state and all of our counties. Speaker Jones, and I want to make sure Derek Davis, yes, I live about, I don't know, walking distance from here. I don't know if I should tell someone that because they'll be walking to my door and yeah, that's right, knocking on the door. And certainly my friend, Senator Griffith, I appreciate you and the work that you have done. I do want to also thank Chip DePaula, our System Board Chair, and Judge Williams, our Board Chairman of our Capital Region Medical Center. Dr. Santha, thank you so much for your leadership and what you bring to us as a system leader. A year ago, I got a phone call. It was at 7:46 on a Saturday night. Okay, and I'm looking at my phone and it's an unrecognized number. I typically don't answer unrecognized numbers, but something compelled me to answer the phone. And lo and behold, it's Dr. Santha. He says, Nat, this is Santha, Mohan Santha here, and I have one job tonight. Judge Williams, my board, we feel like you're the right leader for Capital Region, and my job is to get you to yes. Now, I didn't have a problem with the conversation, getting me to yes, no problem, right? But I was frying some fish, and at 7:46 at night, I had just poured a glass of wine, and I had just put the salad dressing on my salad. Now, most of you all that know wine, if you aerate it, it tastes extremely good, right? Well, I didn't get to aerate it, but it's set for 40 minutes. So, Dr. Santha, thank you for naturally aerated wine. And you owe me hot fish and non-wilted salad. So I took that call and we talked for about 40 minutes. And what I love about that call, it wasn't just a call that he made. He made a call on a Saturday night. And he called me again Sunday to make sure I had the agreement in hand to sign it, because he wanted to make sure on Monday that he had signed, sealed, and delivered the product. So thank you, because it wasn't about the agreement that I signed. It was the opportunity that existed right here in Prince George's County. And I did a lot of research, and we do have a lot of opportunity here in Prince George's County. And what I can tell you as your next leader, and I call myself a coach. I don't like using CEO because that's usually the first person that gets fired when things go wrong. So I'm going to say the next leader and the coach. I truly enjoy and have been honored to accept this role as your leader. I will assure you that there will be no dust under my feet, making sure that I deliver on the promise that we made long ago to Prince George's County, and that's to transform healthcare. I feel like I have years of experience, and for me, there's three things that I thought about when I'm trying to make a decision as a leader in the next organization. One, who do I report to? Can I work with them? Two, who are the board chairmen that drive the organization and give you the vision for what you're trying to do? And the most important one, three, the team members that I am surrounded around, the team members that I work with every single day, the 29,000 team members across the system that I can collaborate with and connect with to get the job done. That's what I think about every single day. And I think about you, because every person in this room matters. The media matters because you're getting the voice out. You're telling the world and showing the world about the University of Maryland medical system. You're telling them about the University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center and our system. And you're telling the world about the things that we have put together through a strategic plan to make sure that we transform healthcare in Prince George's County. So I want to thank you for that, because you absolutely matter, and I will be listening to you, and I'm sure I will get all sorts of calls. And please don't be afraid to call in if you have an issue. I think many of you all have called before. That's my job, is to make sure that I listen to you and I take on the responsibility of making sure that we deliver on our promise. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I look forward to working with the amazing team. I agree, Dr. Wright is an amazing leader. He held the baton until I got here, and he's beat me on my head with it since I've been here. So I want to make sure that you all know you have a great team in front of you. We have had 5 CEOs in the last 10 years, 5 CFOs. We've had at least 4 CMOs, 3 COOs. And the one thing that I said to the board, and I said to Dr. Santha, I've been in this 35 years. If you're looking for another pacifier CEO, there's plenty of them out there. I plan to come here to Maryland in Prince George's County to finish out my career. And I want to do that in fashion with every one of the team members that I work with and you. So I will end with a promise, and that's my promise, that every day that I wake up, I will wake up with the same passion that brought me here. I will wake up with the same excitement from that phone call at 7:46 at night. And yes, I'm going to hold you accountable to some hot fish, and you all can hold me accountable to do what I say I'm going to do. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to make some mistakes. I talked to Pastor Jenkins and I reminded him, one of my pastors in Houston told me, Nat, if you ever find a perfect church, I want you to run away so you don't mess it up. So, and my point is, we're not perfect. We're not going to get it right all the time, but we're going to work hard every day. We're changing up healthcare in Prince George's County. Do you believe that? Well, you all change with me. I look forward to working with you, and this is a great day in Prince George's County. Thank you.
We will now have closing remarks by the Honorable Judge Alexander Williams, Chair, University of Maryland, Capital Region Health Board of Directors.
I'm not sure there's anything left to say. You heard the powerful speakers and presenters talk about the transformation of healthcare in this county. We're here just at the beginning stage, so I want to thank everyone for being here today and help us continue with our progress as we move toward an excellent delivery of healthcare services in this county. I want to now call on the ribbon cutting people. I want to invite to the program, to the podium, all of the speakers to come to the stage, and also Chip DePaula, Chair of UM's Board of Directors, for this commemorative moment. And of course, after the ribbon cutting ceremony, everyone can pick up a special token outside near the tent area, and of course stick around for food and photos. Unfortunately, we had scheduled tours, but we've got to start delivering patients here as soon as possible. So we will schedule that later on, but there'll be no tours today. Okay, so y'all want to come to this podium? Everyone. And get your scissors.